It's 4:17 a.m. on the 2nd of November 2025, when the calm inside a US Navy Pate Amperes suddenly breaks. A sharp sonar tone cuts through the cabin. Short and nervous, the kind that makes everyone stop talking. A faint line appears on the screen, moving slow, steady, and too clean to be random noise. The operator leans in and whispers, "This looks like a submarine." His teammate checks again and answers, "It matches a Venezuelan Type 209. The cabin goes quiet. Outside, the sky is still dark, but the feeling inside the aircraft turns heavy fast. A radio call snaps in, telling the crew that Southcom wants immediate confirmation. At the same moment, hundreds of miles away, a US B-21 test flight bomber near Puerto Rico receives a new course order. Direct and cold. No one knows why both platforms are being redirected toward the same patch of water, but everyone feels the same thing. Something serious is waiting below, and this is only the first warning. The stretch of water between Colombia and Venezuela looks simple on a map, but anyone who works in this region knows it is one of the busiest smuggling corridors in the Caribbean. Small boats move at odd hours. Signals appear and disappear, and the quiet spots are never really quiet. That is why the sonar hit from the Type 209 mattered so much. A submarine in this area is not normal. A submarine moving in sync with a drug boat is something else entirely. It turns a routine mission into a possible international incident. For the crews in the air and at Southcom, this was not just about stopping cocaine heading for American cities. When a military platform from a foreign state lines up with a smuggler, it raises questions nobody wants to answer. Is the military helping the traffickers, watching the traffickers, or testing how quickly the US reacts? Any of those choices could change policy, shift alliances, or even push two countries into a confrontation neither side planned for. That is why the atmosphere in the operations rooms grew heavier with every new ping on the sonar screen. For the people on the Pate Amperes and the B-21 test crew, the stakes became personal. They knew they were no longer just tracking a small drug boat. They were watching a move that could have political consequences. A submarine is not a sign of a simple crime. A submarine is a message. And the moment the B-21 changed course toward the same area, every analyst knew Washington was preparing for more than surveillance. They were preparing to send a signal back. The scene now had two forces watching each other from above and below, both sides holding their next move. Before we move on, tell me what you think this moment really meant. If you believe the submarine was protecting the drug boat, press 1. If you think it was testing the US response, press 9. And if you enjoy this kind of deep dive reporting, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. The Poseidon eases into a slower turn as the crew studies the strange signal. The cabin feels tighter now, every sound sharper. The sonar operator leans in. 3 knots. Same heading. No drift. The line is steady, too steady to be random. The crew chief steps behind him. "This is intentional," he says. "Someone below is making deliberate moves." The drug boat keeps its slow, easy pace, pretending to vanish into a calm morning. But the submarine changes everything. A military sub does not shadow a smuggler unless there is a reason. That thought sits heavy across the aircraft. A simple intercept has shifted into a quiet standoff with a foreign state. A coded message reaches the nearest Coast Guard cutter. The voice is calm but serious. Maintain distance. Avoid any action that could trigger fear or misreading. The crew has dealt with risky boardings before, but a submarine in the mix is different. One wrong angle, one fast turn, and a drug stop could explode into a political incident. The captain orders the crew to hold position. High above, a B-21 glides toward the same area, silent, invisible. The pilots have only a few lines of orders and no explanation for why a stealth bomber is suddenly tied to a smuggler case. But the redirect said enough. Something here is bigger than it looks. The pilot keeps the heading steady, trying to picture the submarine's path beneath them. The B-21 is not here to fire. It is here to watch, collect signals, and quietly remind Venezuela that the US is paying attention. Inside Southcom, analysts track every update. One officer highlights a 12-minute blackout in the sub's movement. possibly a depth shift. Another detects short, structured radio bursts from the drug boat. Smugglers rarely send signals like that. The mood in the room tightens. Someone else may be guiding this run. The first official response forms: monitor both targets. Avoid escalation. Stay ready if the submarine shifts course in a way that signals concern or aggression. Everyone understands how fast a misunderstanding at sea can become a flashpoint. The Poseidon circles again. Careful. The B-21 moves closer, unseen. And deep below, the submarine keeps sliding forward, matching the drug boat like a silent shadow. This is no longer a criminal chase. It is a quiet test between two nations on the same stretch of ocean. Before we move on, tell me how you see this moment. If the submarine was guiding the smuggler, press 1. If it was testing the US reaction, press 9. The next minutes turn the calm sea into a tense stage. The submarine makes a small depth change, only a few feet, but inside the Poseidon, everyone feels it. A move like that means the crew below is alert and reacting. It is not drifting, it is choosing. Ahead of them, the drug boat makes a slight turn north. It looks casual, almost lazy, but the submarine follows with steady precision. It mirrors every shift like a shadow that refuses to fall back. If it wanted to disappear, it could. Instead, it stays visible enough to remind us that it is part of this run. The Coast Guard cutter holds its distance. No loud voices, no sudden moves. A routine boarding can turn into a political crisis when a foreign submarine sits this close. The captain tells his crew to stay calm and maintain heading. Everyone knows the wrong move could trigger something no one wants. High above, the B-21 glides toward the same patch of water. The pilots have little information, only a redirect order that signals seriousness. A test flight bomber is not pulled into a smuggler chase unless the stakes are high. Even without being seen, the B-21 adds quiet pressure over everything happening below. Inside the Poseidon, tension grows as the sonar line slows for a moment, then picks up again. That pause pulls everyone's attention. In waters this tight, hesitation can mean more than action. The room stays silent as they track the submarine's path across the screen. Then the situation settles into an eerie calm. No new radio bursts, no sudden turns, no fresh signals. Just 3 platforms, the Poseidon, the cutter, and the submarine, locked into a slow, careful dance. The B-21 holds high above, waiting for the next shift. No threats are made, and no weapon is shown, yet the pressure keeps rising. Both sides know they are watching each other closely, reading every move, waiting to see who breaks the pattern first. Before we continue, tell me what you think. If the submarine was preparing to pull away, press 1. If you believe it was trying to push the US into reacting first, press 9. And if these breakdowns keep you on edge, hit subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Just as the pattern seems set, the Poseidon picks up something new. It starts as a faint return on the sonar, small and easy to miss. The operator zooms in and watches the line appear again, clearer this time. It is not the submarine, it is something smaller, closer to the surface, metallic and steady. The room shifts from tense to alert in a single breath. It could be a buoy or a drop tool, but those drift. This one stays fixed, like it was placed there. The detail pushes the crew to full alert. Inside Southcom, the new contact reshapes the situation. A second signal near a smuggler and a submarine is unusual. If it's a decoy, the sub may be trying to split sensors. If it's a relay buoy, someone could be monitoring the route. If it ties to the smugglers, the run is far more organized. Analysts note its timing matches the sub's brief hesitation, and its distance looks intentional. A short order arrives. Track both contacts, avoid anything that looks hostile. That tells the crews this is no longer a clean, two-target picture. A hidden layer has appeared, and any wrong step could raise the tension fast. The Poseidon circles again. The new signal stays fixed. The drug boat keeps its slow, calm pace. The submarine follows, but its intent is now harder to read. 2 unknown elements in the same tight space make every decision heavier. The crews see the truth. Something deeper is happening, planned and hidden beneath the surface of a simple escort. Before we move forward, tell me what you think this second contact was. If it was a decoy to confuse US sensors, press 1. If it was a tool helping the submarine protect the smuggler, press 9. And if these twists keep you watching, make sure you're subscribed for the next part. The boarding team pushes deeper into the drug boat as the storm shakes the hull. Every step is heavier, every sound sharper. At the cargo hold, they pull the steel door and sweep their lights across stacked bricks rising nearly to the ceiling. In seconds, the truth is clear. 146 bales, 3.2 tons of cocaine. A shipment worth over $100 million headed for American streets. A short radio call breaks through. Cargo confirmed. Full load. Calm words, but they change everything. This isn't a small run, this is a major operation protected by a foreign patrol boat only a few hundred yards away. And that patrol boat watched them enter the hold. It knows exactly what this evidence means. Outside, the Venezuelan ship shifts again. Rain runs down the gun barrels aimed at the Americans. Its engines hum steadily, close enough for the boarding team to feel the vibration through the deck. No warnings, no calls, just pressure. On the cutter James, Rodriguez watches the live feed. He sees the patrol boat inch forward, not enough to provoke, but enough to threaten. He gives the order he knew was coming. Team, prepare tow line, secure the vessel. Taking control of the ship, right in front of a foreign warship, is the clearest signal of intent they can send. The boarding team moves fast on deck, fighting wind, rain, and the feeling of those guns tracking every motion. Lightning flashes, revealing the patrol boat's silhouette still, but unmistakably ready. One wrong move and everything could ignite. Then the night changes. The patrol boat slows, its engines drop to a softer tone. And for the first time since the chase began, it makes a choice. Instead of closing in, it turns away, slow, deliberate, like the crew has decided they want no part of what is about to be recorded and sent to Washington. The shift is small, but to the team, it feels like a weightlifting. The tow line locks. James begins pulling the drug boat north, dragging it out of the storm and away from the Venezuelan ship, fading into the rain. The boarding team climbs back onto the cutter, soaked, exhausted, tense, but safe. They have the drugs, they have the deserter, and they just forced a state-backed escort to back down without a shot fired. As the ships separate, only one question remains. If you were on that deck, staring at those guns in the storm, would you push forward like the Coast Guard or wait for backup? Press 1 to move in. Press 9 if holding back was the safer call. By early afternoon, James reaches Miami. The storm is gone, but the tension of the night still sits with the crew. Federal agents unload the bales, test them, and confirm the full amount. 3.2 tons of cocaine. Every camera angle, radio call, and sensor log from the cutter is saved. The case is airtight, and everyone on board knows they just carried out one of the most important seizures of the year. Ramirez waits in cuffs while agents question the smugglers. They all give the same story. Tren de Aragua paid for the run, and Venezuelan officers took the money. The patrol boat was not on routine duty. It was hired to protect the shipment all the way toward US waters. For investigators, the details match perfectly with the recordings from the night before. For the crew, it is the final proof that they were facing more than criminals. They were facing a foreign unit acting under orders. In Washington, the evidence moves quickly. Radar tracks show the escort stayed with the drug boat for more than 35 nautical miles. Audio captures threats toward the Coast Guard. Video shows heavy guns pointed at American sailors in the middle of a storm. Within hours, the Pentagon calls it direct military involvement, and new sanctions follow. Venezuela denies everything, but the footage spreading across news networks makes denial almost useless. 3 days later, James is back at sea, returning to the same waters where another shipment will eventually appear. The crew knows the pattern will continue. Cartels run the cargo. Someone will guard it. And the Coast Guard will be the first to face it again, no matter the weather or the risk. For the sailors, the meaning is simple. They boarded a drug ship in violent seas while a foreign warship aimed weapons at them and still finished the mission without a single shot fired. Now the question turns to you. In that same moment, would you push forward like they did or wait for backup? Press 1 to move in or 9 if you would hold back.